Yeah, man, it's been quite some time. Like I said, I mean, we've been playing since I've been in the band 5 years now, so we practice about 5 to 7 times a week. And we got picked up by Tribunal back in '07 and put out Behold the Line in June of that year, and immediately got picked up by Metal Blade in October. So about 3 months later, so we had to turn right back around and get back into writing mode again to start recording King of the Mic.
Tell me about how you guys hooked up with Tribunal.
What happened was we were recording at a studio in Columbus, and we planned on putting out the tracks on our own. And what happened was we were going to, press them back to the disc and everything like that, and we happened to put the new songs, a couple of the new songs from Behold the Line up on our MySpace page. And a girl from North Carolina, her name was Girl Chris, she was a real good friend from Tribunal, and she heard our material and told Matt to go check it out because she thought that he'd dig it, and he obviously did. He gave us a call, and we did a 1-album deal with Tribunal, and rest is pretty much history from there.
How did Metal Blade come into this after Tribunal?
What happened was we actually had a contract first from Century Media, and we hired on an attorney. His name was Brian Christner, and we kind of got that going. With that contract, we were in negotiations with him for about a month or longer, and at that point, Metal Blade actually flipped us a contract as well. So, we had two different contracts that we had to go, back and forth in between, and we actually decided to choose Metal Blade over Century Media. So,
is it a lot different touring than you expected it to be?
In general, no, not really. I mean, our band gets, along with each other really well. We've done, we haven't done a ton of touring, but we've done, our fair share. And, it's pretty simple for us, really,
What did the Columbus scene and the Central Ohio scene turn out like?
Horrible.
Really?
Columbus, it all depends on, I guess, what type of band you are. Because, for a long time, 99.7 The Blitz was like, the big radio station, them at the Big Wazoo. And it's a bunch of radio rock type of stuff. So it's like, Seether and Hinder and those type of bands. And that's what a lot of people from around those areas, kind of take influence from, because they don't, unless they listen to something, underground or whatnot. But a lot of the bands from that area are, a lot of radio rock bands. And there's a handful of good metal bands and, whatever to play with. But the scene in Southern Ohio to, Central Ohio isn't very good.
And you mentioned the Blitz. The Blitz, didn't they shut down recently or something?
It went to, it's still 99.7, but it's called The Rock now. And they play, new age, pop rock stuff or whatever, but they play a lot of oldies type of stuff as well.
Oh. So where do you guys play at when you go up to Columbus now?
It varies. Like, we do the Billiard Club, on 161. We play there, every once in a while. We normally try and stay out of Columbus, though, just because of the scene. So normally when we do an Ohio show that, around our region, for where we're from, we normally do a hometown show. So we normally do a show, in Chillicothe.
I remember when I met you guys back in 2004, I think you guys, or Chris was in college at OU. Did you guys stop school to do the band, or how did that all work out?
Yeah, we did. What happened was I was going to DeVry University in Columbus, and Chris was at OU, and at that time we had, a different lineup as far as rhythm guitar player and drummer and stuff. And, one day we were driving back from a show coming out of West Virginia, and, everybody was talking about how, like, dude, we want to do this and we want to do that. And I was just like, listen, guys, if you're going to talk a big game, let's do this. But, anything you do in life, you give 100% to it. I'm a firm believer and you get back, you give, So I was like, let's do it, man. It's all or nothing type of deal. So I was like, either I'm out or, we're going to drop out of school and we're going to roll with it. So.
Wow.
That's what we did. So at that point, within the week after that discussion, we were all like, all right, dude, and we all dropped, came home, started practicing, started writing material, and like I said, for as long as I can remember, we've been practicing, like 5 days a week. So we practice, yeah, even when we're home, tonight's our last night of this tour, and then we have about three and a half weeks off before we leave again. And, anytime we have a break, we're always in practice pretty much. So it's kind of like a constant tour, like all year round for us as far as playing goes.
Well, now that you guys are on a touring level, what do you want to get across to the people?
I want people to realize, I guess, the musicianship and the music. I think the scene, with the internet and everything like that, is so saturated with bands that are complete shit. If I'm allowed to say that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's very hard to come up, from the ranks, like, with all these bands. If you're a real metal band, it's easier if you come out and you have a generic touch about you, so where people can grasp a hold of something very easily. A band can come out and within 6 months be bigger than what we are at this point. We've been doing it 5 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want people, I want to get out on the right tours, and that's a big thing, too. We're like, we have like Cattle Decapitation coming up, and we have a Metal Blade tour coming up. We're doing New England Metal Fest this year. With like All the Remains and Lamb of God, Now That They Die, and all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just trying to land what would be good for us type of deal. So we're out in front of the right kind of crowd.
For you personally, playing at a barn in 2004 to where you're at now, what's it like playing with bands that you grew up listening to?
Oh man, it's great. It's one of those things where, like, you look back on it and you wish you dreamed of it back then, and you never thought that it would happen, or if it and now it became somewhat of a reality to where we're in a position where we're going to be able to tour with some of our favorite bands that we've been fans of for years. And I mean, it's a surreal feeling to know that we put ourselves and that much effort and dedication into something that we've taken it to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's great to be able to say what we've done and play with the bands that we have. So it's definitely exciting.
What are your thoughts dealing with the music industry in general?
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, I like it. That's what I do in my band. I'm the one that takes care of everything, the money, the management, all that nonsense. I enjoy the business of it. I think, sometimes there's a lot more that goes into it that needs to go into it. And I think there's a lot more things that can be done for, some smaller bands. Like people that are in our status of, bands. I think there's a lot more that can be done in the music industry if people would just give it a little bit more of a chance. But it's kind of like when they pick up bands, a lot of times they want to throw 5 bands against the wall and see what's going to stick type of deal. And then once you become one of those bands that sticks a little bit, then they'll put a little bit more effort into pushing it. So it's like and the thing is we've been doing real well with our new record. And, the label is extremely ecstatic about it. Our management is extremely ecstatic. We hit Billboard Peak Speakers, started number 10 with the new disc. And,
your phone's cutting out a little bit. What was the last thing that you said?
Yeah, we were on Billboard Heat Seeker chart at number 10, first week out. And, we've been top 10 on CMJ and commercial radio for the past 7 weeks. So, it seems to be going really good. We've got a video for one of our tracks called Break the Thing to the Wicked, mm-hmm. and it hit over 15,000 views in a week. So, we're making our way up the food chain, man.
What do your families and friends from, Ohio think?
It's funny. Like back if you would ask me that, a year ago, it's one of those things where they're down your throat and they're like, they want you to get your responsibilities together and this and that and blah blah blah, because they don't understand, I guess, a lot of times. Because people go, oh, you play in a band, it's kind of like when you walk up to someone on the street or anything like that, and you say you're in a band, they're like, oh, you're in a band. They don't understand the caliber of it. They don't understand exactly how good of a band or what kind of band you are by you just explaining it, or even if they listen to it. So it becomes real to them once they see, a metal rate contract on the table and see what we're doing now. Everybody, not to say they weren't proud before or happy for it, but, it changed a whole lot of minds when they were like, oh, wow, these guys actually did it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good feeling for sure that you got people supporting you the whole way, but at the same time, it's a fight to get there, and then once it is there, it's a lot easier now to deal with as far as parents or whoever it may be. Like, you guys dropped out of school, play metal, are you guys fucking crazy? You know what I mean? It's like, no, dude, we're not crazy. I mean, we're a good band, and like I said, when you tell them that, it's like they don't understand because it's coming from you. It's not coming from a big source. So when it ends up coming from something like that, it completely changes minds. So with all the interviews and radio play and TV on Music Choice, I mean, it's just been great. Everyone is super excited. So.
You know what else I think is pretty cool is how Kill What I Adore is also getting out there too.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, they're great dudes. We actually had them come in and play our after party for our CD release show. Yeah, they're good dudes. I mean, I don't know how, what they're doing with their record or anything like that as far as how good anything's turning out for them, but it's good to know that there's other bands coming out of Ohio that are, making a mark as well.
When you guys get back home, when you're off the road, do you, work a side job or anything?
We used to, just because, we would do a tour that would maybe be a couple weeks long, and, then we'd be home for a month or two or whatever. Back in, 08, we did, only a couple tours, and, when we did stuff like that, we definitely had to have jobs, but, this year, we've been out since, about the beginning of January. We left, January 9th, and, we were out for 3 weeks, and then we were home for 4 days, and then we've been back out on this tour with Psyopus for 10 days. Then we go home for three and a half weeks, like I said earlier, and then we're out for 10 weeks. So, and that's as of right now. That we're booked all the way until June 5th. So we're trying to, definitely keep it booked all the way through the year because, the way we look at it is, like I said before, whatever you give to it is what you're going to get back from it. And, we got a good record on our hands, and I think a lot of people are talking about it. The buzz is building, and, there's no point sitting at home type of deal. Yeah, so it's like, as much as, I love my family and girlfriend and this and that, it's like, this is my career, this is what I need to do, and it's like, I want to, we all want to push as hard as we can, so we're hoping to get, 8 or 10 months of touring in this year. In the end, man, when you turn around, that next year, or whatever, and you look at the success that you've gained because of how hard you work.
Yeah.
It'll definitely, it'll pay off, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you said you guys are booked until June. What else is in store for the future of Woe of Tyrants?
I'm just hoping to, book bigger, get bigger, but tours. We're hoping to book, somewhat of a big tour for, June, July area. And, just trying to step up the food chain, I guess, like I said before, get out of the freshman slump, I guess, of bands, even though we have our first record out, but just prove to everybody by touring that we can hang with the good solid big bands, even if we're opening a show, to make sure that we just keep progressing forward in our touring career, opposed to going out and playing to 30 or 40 kids. Hopefully by summertime, we'll be able to step in front of 300 or 400 kids, and it'll be a new day type